Hi guys and gals, it's Pete, Mindwiseman's channel, aka Maverick Outdoors, and today it's a nice, slightly cloudy, but the majority of the day has been a nice sunny Sunday afternoon on Sunday, the 17th of April 2016. And as you can see, I'm on the Maverick Explorer, third time out on it, giving it another test run, but just really for a leisurely paddle. Here out on the River Canoe, and I've paddled about a mile and a bit, just over a mile, about a mile and a half, against the stream. Lucky enough the current's not unsafe, so you know it's been a bit of effort, as you can see. And as you can see, I'm stationary, and I'm just going to throw out this little bit of dry twig, and you can see it moving. Also some of the sort of surface bubbles you can see. So you know, the surface is going at quite a pace really. The sort of speed you'd want to be travelling, a nice relaxed paddle on still waters, and actually travelling at that pace. So of course I've come up against it purposely, because then when I take the trip back it's going to be nice and easy and a relaxing, just let the current take me with a few paddles here and there. But I'm going to make my way further upstream around that bend and stay to the right side, which is where you're supposed to navigate anyway, but it normally tends to be on the inner curve. There's less of a current than where it actually sort of comes round like that, so I'm going to sort of make my way diagonally over there. It's not quite an eddy, but it's the same sort of effect where the water's quite dormant as far as being stationary, so off I jolly will go. Okay, so I'm just facing the direction I've come from, which was over there. So if you imagine the other side of all that brush and those few trees, came around the corner, came up here. The actual main channel is to my far right over there, but there's a lock virtually just there, which I don't want to portage. I want to save a bit of time, just stay in the canoe, moor up, probably just here, have something to eat. So as I say, the main stretch is the other side there, goes right across, and the other side of this Second World War waterway defence, home defence pillbox, which I'm going to have a little recce of and have a little look around in a moment. As I look at that Second World War pillbox, behind me is part of a navigation which really isn't appropriate for leisure boats. I mean, you can canoe up here, but as you can see, it's there's no way that I could just about paddle here, try to get a bit of an eddy on the inside as it current goes out, as I mentioned before. But anyway, further up you can see you'd be going against the current, and like I mentioned before, it's a bit like going up a downward moving escalator. You ain't moving, that is really going. I would say that must be going about 7-8 miles an hour at least. So paddling that would be actually defeating the object of trying to get anywhere. But there you can see the view. It's a nice sound, the water flowing, but it's just good here to admire it while I'm tethered up with my cord on the D-ring. I've always got that fixed and tucked behind the seat, but you can see here it's sort of wrapped around and then fastened here. So that's my mooring device for the moment. So I've just walked to the corner, and here you can see the little offshoot flowing, which I was describing earlier, and going into the main navigation which comes along here. And you can see there's the lock. Now of course, with the lock being behind me, I'll walk the direction where I've actually just moored up the canoe. And I had to bring it forward a little bit further from where I was up there. And I just sort of paddled along here, and there's a little bit more of a securer mooring space for me to have stepped out of the canoe onto this bit of firm ground here. I always test it. Always need to test it just in case it's soft, so you know you support on something. So the canoe is moored up just a little bit further along here from where I was up down there, and it's a firm bit of ground here. I've just wrapped the bungee cord round, fixed on the 2D rings, and then just for extra security, just stuck a stick in the ground and looped it through one of the tug ropes, so it's just got 3 points of fix, nice and secure. So if that current did build up, I mean, you need a sledgehammer to disconnect all that. There's the pillbox with the sun cascading. I'm just going to go and sit over there. I think they'll have something to eat. So I've just got my rucksack with my food in. And let's go and have a look at this pillbox. I think there was some sort of artillery station there. So we'll just come round. Okay, obligatory graffiti. Okay, so those are little firing points. Smaller defence area here. Then you can imagine there would have been on the approach to the water access to have a real big bit of artillery for the defence. And as I walk back out, nice view, waterlogged field. We've been having these heavy downpours of rain. So this is where I was previously moored up and describing about the current. But I would have actually moored up maybe here. But as you can see, there's a lot of undergrowth in the water, and my skeg, which is bigger than my hand, was actually catching on it. So although the skeg, you know, is good for tracking in the water, you always need to be aware of the depth of the water if you've got a skeg underneath the hull of the canoe, so it doesn't snag and catch or make it awkward to paddle or literally get stuck or caught. But now I'm going to unpack that bag and I think sit in the sun, nice little seat there, and have something to eat. Actually, I'm sport for choice. I think I'm going to sit on this end, this corner, because then I'm in easy access just round there to the canoe. Plus I've got the view of the lock, so let's get set up just here. What a brilliant end to a perfect day out on the water this afternoon. Out on the Maverick Explorer. I'll be giving some more updates on it very soon, before the end of this month, with a price and the ordering process, how you can acquire one of the Maverick Explorer canoes. So I hope you've enjoyed this little journey. It's only a brief video. I'm just taking you out on the Maverick Explorer, just giving a bit of an update. There's a couple more features I'm going to add to it, like a footrest, but I'll be explaining more about that nearer the time of when people can actually acquire the Maverick Explorer. So after sitting next to this little bit of history on this Sunday afternoon, savouring the sound of the river purring away, flowing away behind me, albeit it's not that appropriate to actually paddle against it. I'm just going to pack up, load my kit bag back into the canoe and make my way downstream, which is going to be a little bit easier on the way back. And I'm off back down that way and letting the current take me. It's going to be a joyride all the way back. Okay, so I'm all ready for the navigation paddle back, but at this point I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who's responded to the previous two videos regarding the Maverick Explorer, this canoe that I'm in. The only one of its kind so far. I'll be updating everybody by the end of April this year, 2016, with the, I suppose, technicalities and logistics as to how you can order them, what the price will be. I say final negotiations over the next week or so, and that will be all finalised by the end of this month, and I can update everybody who's shown an interest. Say no obligation list. If you are interested, have a look at the previous video to this one. I'll put a link in the box below this video. And again, another real big thank you. I really appreciate the interest from everybody. People that have followed my videos right from the start when I had the Sevilla, well, I've still got the Sevilla Colorado, but obviously it's going to be put into retirement now as I use this little beauty. And people have shown an interest over the years and then actually got into canoeing and wild camping and just leisurely out for the day like today. And there's only things like this that you can experience by actually getting out there on the water. So I appreciate everybody that's followed my outdoor activities over the years, people that have actually got into canoeing, getting on the waters. It's a totally different world when you're out on the waters. It's very mindful, tranquil, just the feeling of actually being on the water, that mode of transport, being in a canoe, your movement, paddling to actually get you to where you want to get to, really. Unlike today, sharing with you today this little bit of history where I just had my lunch with the next to the Home Defence World War II pillbox. And of course the novelty, literally the novelty of coming across something like this and actually getting to it via the water rather than maybe pathways that could be actually blocked or no access, that sort of thing. Just actually coming across places of interest. So as always, really appreciate your interest and catch you in another video soon. Cheers, take care. And you can come with me as I go off down that way.